So, as y'all know by now, Sony has struck a deal with Marvel Studios that will allow Marvel to use Spider Man in the upcoming Captain America Civil War movie in exchange for Marvel lending a little bit of creative expertise to Sony for their next individual Spider Man movie. Earlier this week, it came out that, actually, I think it was more earlier this month or maybe last month, that came out, and Studio Sony said that the movie, their Spider-Man movie, is not going to be an origin story. And I saw a lot of fellow geeks were real happy about that. And the whole thing about origin stories, I go back and forth on them honestly. But here's my take on origin stories. It really does annoy me every time I see geeks come out and, oh my god, they're gonna do another origin story. Don't do another origin story. Why do I have to sit through another origin story? Blah, 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 blah. And as a nerd, I get it, but I also look at the other side of the coin. When these studios are putting out these movies, they're putting them out for everybody. If they relied on just the money that us geeks would bring in, these movies wouldn't make money. There's just not numerically enough of us that are going to go, and even if we went two or three times, for them to make the type of money that it takes to justify even making the movie. So they have to try to get as many people as they can. Everybody, and we have to realize, because like I said, I'm a geek. I'm there with you, but I understand. Look, everybody doesn't know the origins of all these cool characters the way we do. So we almost have to, we have to bite our tongue a little bit and let them, get caught up to speed. Plus, it's just good, solid writing. I mean, if it's a story where we don't know someone's origin, any other movie, we generally are going to get their setup, we get their world set up. Yes, of course, there have been movies that where we just drop in and we take off running and they worked out. The original Star Wars trilogy is like that. We got the basic little crawl at the beginning and then bam, we're into the movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark was like that. Indiana Jones shows up fully formed, and we get into the movie. There are examples and it can be done, but for the most part, we tend to basically learn about a character as we go. And for the folks that are non-fans, they're going to want to know, and to keep them from asking questions, yes, we it's like mandatory. Ice Cube in the song Players Club years ago, he had a line, a little couplet that I always remember, and basically say, "Here we go with that mandatory time wasting." Well, you know what? That's what these origin movies are. It's kind of mandatory time wasting. I don't get too mad about it. And with the deal with Spider-Man, it's like this. Okay, we've sat through what, two origin stories now. We had the Spider-Man origin story, then we had the Amazing Spider-Man. They redid the origin there. I kind of don't think the same studio needed to do a second origin, but whatever. They're trying to reboot the franchise. My thing in this particular instance, you know what? I was gonna say that since Marvel's gonna do the next Spider-Man movie, if they wanted to do an origin story, they could, but they're not actually doing it. It's still Sony's running it. So, all right, scratch that. That was a horrible example. But in general, I think we could kind of help our cause a little bit by not being so quick to rush to jump. Deal with it and go on. Um, I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, oh, shut up and just be happy that you're getting your movie. I don't really want to be like that, but I also want to understand why the studio might feel like, okay, we're going to do Black Panther, we want to give an origin, or we're going to do Doctor Strange, we want to give an origin. I might know it, you as a fellow geeks and nerds might know it, everybody doesn't. So let's just kind of ease our anger down a little bit. Let's just enjoy what we can enjoy about the movies, and not get so uptight and oh my god, they're gonna do it again. I don't know. So now that I'm rethinking on the whole thing about Spider-Man, because I was going to say if Marvel's going to do the movie, I wouldn't mind sitting through to see what they did with an origin. But since it's not Marvel, and since it's Sony again, just with Marvel with the assist, Okay, yeah, on that I am kind of on the side of not doing a full out 2 hour origin story. But what they could do, and what I probably would do if I was directing the film, Marvel did this awesome recap origin with the Incredible Hulk movie. Because if you remember, we had Hulk, which was Ang Lee's movie, and then Marvel made the Incredible Hulk that was kind of an official part of the MCU. And even in that movie, they didn't say, well, Ang Lee's Hulk didn't exist. In fact, I believe there's even an allusion to it here or there. But what they did is in like the opening credits, they gave us just like a very distilled version of Hulk's origin. Basically we see Dr. Banner. We see an experiment. We see something go wrong, explosion, Hulk, and just within a few nice shots over the opening credits, they nailed the origin and kept it moving. And you know what? Since they're trying to reboot Spider-Man again or whatever, and I and I just for like I say, as a writer from a standpoint, I kind of like the idea of redoing the origin, but addressing the origin. I guess I should say. We could just you could make the stylistic choice just to drop in and do the movie, and just start with Spider-Man, web swinging and doing whatever. But if they wanted to kind of toe the line between both camps, I'm totally cool if Sony did something like that with their next movie, because we get the highlights. Peter Parker science fair, radioactive spider, or genetically engineered, or whatever contrivance they're going to come up with. He's bitten, powers, contest, Uncle Ben dies, Spidey. You could drop all that over the credits, and then you've addressed it and move on. So that's actually how I would handle it in that situation. But I just wanted to kind of just offer just a few general thoughts on origin stories. I don't hate them. You know, I mean, they can be overdone, but like I said, I'm thinking on the grander scale, and they're trying to make the movie so that everybody, so it's accessible to everybody. So this is one of those things where it's like I'm ahead of the curve and I have to bite the bullet because of, and that's cool because you know what, I'm getting a slew of comic book movies over the next 5 years. I'm very excited about it. I hope that the quality is there because I'm already hearing, a little bit of backlash. Oh, I'm tired of superhero movies. It's too many of them. I'm blah blah blah. Most of these comics are coming courtesy of non geeks. Most geeks I know, they're like, okay, man, I can't wait till the next, so and so movie. I can't wait to the next Marvel movie. I can't wait to the next DC movie. This is gonna look bananas. We're enjoying it, and I find it kind of funny because nobody ever says, I'm tired of dramas. Romantic comedies, they really getting on my nerves. Oh, I hate comedies. I don't want to see another comedy movie ever again. No one ever does that. So, I'm like, hey, it's comic book movies right now. If you like them, go see them. If you don't, go watch something else. No big deal. Just like this right now, I'm kind of rambling. Go on and do something else. Talk to you later. Take it easy, people.